Hello. Welcome to yet another devlog. Continuing building CodeCrafters DNS Server challenge in Zig. Yesterday, I ended up basically stuck in a problem. There was an error I was getting, and I believe I documented it over here. Yes. So I was publishing a result close to this one, minus this null bytes, and I was receiving an error, which basically it was from CodeCrafters indicating the overflowing header size uh, problem. I did a bit of a research around this, and I believe there was there was a report from last year. I think it was in Golang, which was facing the same problem. They were sharing the code they were using, and Rohit from CodeCrafters responded that this is a problem. They need to update the parser to fix it, and without that it's hard to indicate what is the problem. But I'm not sure what happened here. They say that they have done some updates on top of it. I'm not sure if exactly this is the problem I have, but I was in the same situation. So I couldn't solve it directly. What I thought was so far how I was testing my code was to run the server and then run a command like this one, and it was responding fine. Right, I wasn't receiving this response. I'm going to explain why. This was the response I was getting. Then I added an extra null byte here to separate the question and answer section, which I realized is wrong. I shouldn't do that. But I couldn't figure out what is wrong. So the next thing that I thought could be useful was to send my query to an actual server, right, and see what is their response. To my surprise, the majority of what I was getting was similar to what I was sending, but I couldn't see the domain query in the answer section. So if you remember, over here I was setting the first bytes of the answer section to the name value, right? I was writing it into the allocator that I was getting, and it was returning it fine, but somehow I was getting an error there. And so far, as you see in the CodeCrafters, we haven't reached out to compression section. Maybe that's the thing, right? Let's see if they are referring to compression. No, there is nothing about requiring compression. All it says is that for the name section it needs this, followed by null bytes and stuff like that. So the only difference I could figure out here was on the actual server was returning response with compression, and compression is quite simple, right? Instead of putting the name label in the answer section, it will set a pointer. They will use 2 bytes to set the pointer and 2 bytes to set the address of the pointer. So the client knows where to go and read what and get back. And I did that. I implemented that, and it worked. Somehow now you see the result I'm generating from my server is pretty much the same, except for some bits over here, which is with regards to TTL and the actual IP address of the CodeCrafters server, which I'm just using 888, and it's something different, the actual value. So with that, I executed my tests, and all of them passed. It would be surprised that now they fail again at the same error, but I believe I saw them passing. Yeah, the tests are passing successfully. The client is receiving the name, the TTL, the types, and the IP address of server. Now I can submit. But I'm going to also go over and explain what I did, how I did it. So let's first start with the definition of the compression. I'm sorry for my ugly handwriting, but I think that it will be helpful to show it in handwriting. So what do we know about the structure is that we have a header, which is 12 bytes. And then we have, right after this, we have the question section, which starts with the labels. And label is the, for example, CodeCrafters, right? And then .io, and then null bytes here. Right? And then there are some values. I don't care about them. The other detail that we need to know is how this label is presented. For example, in case of codecrafters.io, we will have something like a length, and then codecrafter, and then codecrafters, and then again another length. Let's do it like this, another length to.io, right? Yeah, this is, the dot I believe is not present here. That's my understanding. Let me count it: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 2.io, and then we have the null byte, right? So this is easy, right? This is how the label is presented. And now if in the answer section, which to my understanding could be a list of answer, not one, but in this case we are just processing one answer, so it's easier for us. In the answer, we also start with writing the name, which is CodeCrafters, right? But this means that we have a duplicate here to save some memory. What they do is to, let me see if I can remove this. Yeah, is to indicate that we have a pointer. Let's put it like this for now. And then the address in the memory that the value should be started to be read, basically, right? So we say in this case byte 12. So the client will start reading the byte 12, which is basically from here, and then they see the length of the value, they read everything else, and then they see another length value and read 2 more characters up until they see this 0 byte, and then only after that they get back to where they are, right? But how do we indicate that we have a pointer and the client shouldn't read all the values? There is apparently a convention that for these 2 bytes, the most significant parts of these 2 bytes should be set to 1, the first 2 bits basically. So we end up with something like this in the beginning, right? And that's C0, right? And it's in hex. And then actually 0x0CO, and then for the address we have hex another byte OC, which is 12, right? And with this convention the client knows how to parse it, right? And that's what we have here in the answer. This is basically where the answer section starts, and then we have the pointer indicator C0, and then we have the 2 bytes of the address of the label that needs to be read, and that's it. And to implement that, what I did, I refactored my function. I think it's time to clean this up. Refactor this function. Yes, now I don't need to even consider having the null bytes. There is a change over here. Before I was including the length of the name, right, and then considering 10 bytes for these interim values, center values, yeah, right. So 10 bytes for that, and then the length of this, I was considering that for the allocator size that I needed in the memory, right? But now it's just 12, because for this I'm using 2 extra bytes to refer to the value in the header, and then nothing else is changed over here. I believe my test is broken, which I'm going to get back and fix, right? And then inside, let's see, inside the main function, I'm literally applying the same set of changes, right? The answer length is now changed, just the same change I described earlier. The allocator again now just includes this new answer length, right? And then what else? I believe there isn't much change. Yeah, and this query is something we tried yesterday and that didn't work, and with that the problem solved. It vanished. I'm still not sure what was wrong. One idea I had was maybe in the answer that I was setting, I was setting the wrong type for the pointer indicator, right? If you remember from here, it was C0, and I thought maybe that's the case. But according to RFC, only the most significant bits of these 2 bytes should be set, and in that case we could have C on this side. But here the most significant bits are 0, so we are not indicating to go to any other address and simply make a mistake there. Anyways, with that, we also have the compression feature. It's now working, and then I believe we submitted it as well. Tests passed. Let me refresh. Yeah, mark this stage. is complete. But before moving forward, I would like to also see if I can solve my test issue. Yeah, there is also a change here. The length is different. Answer that zig. And for the test, what am I doing? Response bytes. Yeah, exactly. This test that I'm doing over here is invalid. What I want to have instead is just check these two bits to be set, right? And in that case, how can I solve it? Response name, no. This is the first two bytes, and then expected should be let's say a 2 bytes array, and then it should have 0x C0 0x 0c. I'm not sure if it works. It needs yeah, let's draw the correct address off. Exactly. So here, this. What's happening? 2 bytes is failing. Oh yes, this offset is now should be +2. Beautiful. Now the tests are passing as well. Let's clean up and passing. Let's maybe submit it again. Hopefully it overwrites. The existing value. So I'm not going to misdirect anybody with my failing test. Cool. It was a huge problem. It bugged me for 2 sessions to finally figure the challenge of this section. I didn't expect it to be so difficult, but yeah, hey, I learned enough. And now we are on the only hard problem in this series. Up until now, we were ignoring the contents of the DNS packet that we received and hard coding 1, 2, 3, 4 as the ID of the response. I wasn't doing it. Claude taught me to just read the first 4 bytes and use that as the ID to response. I think that's good. In this stage, you'll have to parse the DNS packet that you receive and respond with the same ID in the response. You'll also need to set the other fields in the header section. Just like the previous stage, the tester will execute your program like this, and it will then send the UDP packet to port 253. Yeah, so your program will need to respond with the DNS reply packet that contains a header section with the following values. Okay. Let me make the opcode value sent by tester. What do you mean by mimic? Any valid value, 0, no error. Opcode is. The tester will not check what follows the header section as long as it's a valid DNS packet. Note, your program will still need to pass tests of the previous stages. You shouldn't need to hardcode 1, 2, 3, 4 as a request ID anymore, since tester sends 1, 2, 3, 4 as the. Yeah, I think that part is taken care of already. Let's go over here, and what are we setting for the header? Is the message ID, and for message ID we are reading the integer first few bytes. But I want to do a little bit of a refactor, and let's see, I have header, and then pub fn, what should I call it? From bytes. And then here, what I would expect is a buffer. Do I know the size of the buffer? Let's for now keep it simple and see how it fails. It's a buffer of U8. And do I need to take in a specific offset to read from? Let's hope not. Here I'm sending in a slice. Okay. And then what would be the response? The response would be a header. Oh, header. Right. So now I think I have the first bit already solved, and return header like this. And yeah. Let's fill in everything. So ID equal to this. Then QR is 1. Then opcode cd mem.webin. Opcode is U4, and for this I need to read from buffer, and I'm already oh yes, so now I need to take it a little bit of a different approach, right? So let's define them out here. Const id equal to this. Const what do I need to do? Let's say var offset view size equal to 0, so it makes it easier hopefully to traverse, and then offset plus 2. And then what else I need to, yeah, let's read all of them, right? QR is 1 bit. Now remember, I had this somewhere done, right? It was in one of my previous blog posts, hopefully. Yeah. I can read them like this, but I don't think they will be in the right order. Well, let's try it for now. QR is buff offset, shift it to the right by 7. Yeah, hopefully. And then const opcode. We both need to shift. Actually, this is maybe what I need. Let's copy this piece. Undo query rejects. Replace this with const space. Yes, 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 yes. And then again, undo query, end of line commas with semicolon. Yes. Not you. And now one more thing. Input to box. I'm still not sure how correct they are. I remember I had a few errors. Should I cast them or not is also a question. And oh, there is one more thing I need to fix. This should be changed to offset. I should have skipped it. Yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes. That's it. and these two. Okay. Let's hope this is correct. But down here, I need to do offset plus equal 1. I have the RA, I have Z. What happens to RCODE? RCODE is also from the same family, yes. Const buff offset and remove this piece. And then again, offset plus equal 1. What else? The rest is U16. So do you have something for them? No. So I would do const keyword count equal to memory int U16 off. Three, 4. I need to offset increase all of them by 2. And then rename them to what I need, which is AN count, NS count, and AR count. And now copy this, put them here. Can I do the magic? So I want to have this and then actual dot and something till equal sign. Actually, this dot should be outside like this. Yeah, hopefully, and actually whatever else to the end of line. And then I want to replace it. What was it? Starter 1? I forgot it again. Emacs group. This side somewhere here. Oh, it's not the starter, it's the grouping number. So like this. Yeah. So it would be dot like this equal like this. Oh, yeah. This looks like what I want, but I'm still not sure about this piece. But we will figure it out. And then inside the main function, what I need to do is to first question header is equal to header dot from bytes, and then buffer from 0 to 12. And then I get rid of these. And then I'll have the question header dot ID. So first error first, expected. Which line is it? So in that case, I'll put this as const. Wait a minute, I need to check this one. The type that we had here. Not that, oh, here. Type I had here was a pointer. And an optional, what does this mean is a question for me. Okay, this is not a valid syntax, apparently. So let's do this, and then down here, we pass in pointer. Unable to resolve comp type. Offset. Where is it? Buff offset. Can I move this? No, this should be oh man, use size. Unable to resolve comp time value. Let's see how Claude can help me here. The model. Okay. No problem. The problem is that you're trying to slice a single item pointer buffer with runtime bounds. But Zig requires the bounds to be known at compile time. The issue is likely that buffer is a single item pointer rather than a many item pointer. You have a few solutions. Use a slice to an array. And instead of slicing, access individual bytes. Convert the slice if buffer is a pointer to an array. I think that is how this works. The key is ensuring you have explicit time bounds. That's it. No, that's not even the problem. But up here, right, it was saying that use a buffer. This. Please reset my music. Expected an array of U8 found. Okay, now the error is in the main. And now it says expected type const 2U8 found that, but now can I go to header? Can I use that trick? LG 0 to 2. Sounds like it. So I'll have 0 to 2, 0 to 2. Expected U8, expected U1, got a U8 for QR. Okay, let's do this then. Over here, yeah, it's all of them as U1. Does it work like this? Okay, there is an error on the quality of my stream. YouTube is not receiving enough memory. Okay, that's fine for now. I expected Restream to take care of this right now. Anyways, do not distract me. Let's see how I can solve this. So I have a U8 which I want to cast as a U1. HP Copilot. And this value will buffer is how can I int cast? Okay, nice. So here I indicate U1. And that would be an error, hopefully. I'm not sure why each sometimes doesn't just compile. But anyway, let's compile it to see. Yeah. So here I need to also include cast int. There is no, oh, int cast. Better. Now I want this. And opcode is U4, so here do U4 and int cast. Slash where U1 U1 Okay, now it compiles. And then let's do a query. It fails. Beautiful. Start index 4 is larger than end index. Drink some water. Yeah, my internet is not willing to properly stream, naturally messing this up. So I'm going to finish earlier tonight. Let's see where I am. So now we have a panic on header. Line 68. Start index 4. Yeah. Yes. So it would be set +2, offset +2. Let's add some commas. Hopefully this is correct now. Okay. I'm setting some values in the header. And let's see if this is what they want, or we need to debug. Not submit, test please. Opcode field to be 1 got 0. Maybe because you are sending a 0, but we'll want to actually I'm messing up. So what should I do here? Do I want to just send the... Yeah, let's keep it like this down here and then reply with the question header. Yeah, that's expected QR to be set to 1. 1 indicates that its response got 0. Let's do it one by one. question header. Actually, maybe rename this easylot rename q header. Why you didn't change it here? And then q header opcode. RCODE field to be 4. It's set to 0. Nice. So now q header opcode. That didn't solve the problem. Let's see. Okay, there's a logic. So for our code, we say if q header opcode equal to 0, then 0, else four. Expected recursion desired field to be false. Got true. Recursion desired, what the hell is that? Okay, RD. Q header dot RD. Nice. I'm happy. Market 7 is complete. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up this stream at this stage. My internet connection for some reason is not stable. Oh, actually it's back to excellent. But yeah, it's been 1 hour that I'm streaming, and I feel a little bit tired today because I was in the office. So I'm going to wrap it up over here and get back to the last 2 problems. No, 3. I have 3 more challenges to solve. So I'm going to continue tomorrow. Let's not get ahead of myself. Thank you for watching. Please leave any comment if you have any with regards to the video, and see you later. Have a nice day.